boys and girls. Chris here with.
ADOS! And we're back with more movies and music and strangeness. This year is. It's gonna be a weird one.
Yep.
Um, Today we are covering 1934, which is the year after the depths of the Depression, or the most depths. Things are getting slightly better, but not much. Um, so, firstly, what were your expectations going into 1934?
Well, as always, just see the films get better, more or less.
And without spoiling anything, did they?
Well, I liked it. It wasn't horrible.
Oh, fair. It was a pretty wild year for film, but I wouldn't call it good.
Hmm. I don't know. Comparing it to other years, I think it's pretty good.
Okay, fair enough. Um, do you have any opening thoughts, or should we just get right into it?
My first opening thought is, good lord, the posters get more intriguing as the years go by.
Deranged is the word I would have used.
Ah, your deranged is my intrigued. Hmm.
That explains so much.
Ah. But let us hop into the first film, which I believe I'm going to pronounce this right. Eliante?
La, la. Nope, not even gonna try with that one. That is my little my southwestern tongue can't fucking say that.
Yeah, French is
But
not my not my thing.
uh, let me see if there's an English translation of how you're supposed to say it.
The passing barge.
Thank you. Uh, I didn't watch this film because I would die before I watch an old timey French film. But apparently it's good, so
I
it's going on my watch list.
I gandered at some of it. To me, it felt like a very typical, and this is very loose, very loosely, a very typical romance film based on a boat. Except that, unlike the most popular boat that did this, it didn't crash and sink.
Wow. I just
Yeah.
don't think boats are a great place for romance, personally.
I don't know. It can be. It is all depends on the context of the storyline. Like for example, like oh, it's a couple whose marriage has been going down the slopes, and then they're trying to revive it by going on a whole cruise or something. That could be a total cool like romance plot line there.
But this film seems to just go for generic 30s romance angle.
Uh, eh, a little bit. So, in all, it's about a couple, who just, got married. It's, I believe the actress, not the actress, but the main female was named Juliet or Juliana or something like that. And she is with a ship captain named Jean, whatever the
No.
French call it. But they're struggling for their marriage, and they're traveling on the Eliante, whatever the fuck you want to say, along with the ship captain's first mate, who is Lipierre,
Mm.
Lipierre Jules, and a cabin boy, and that's the whole thing. I do have some trivia to share, as I always have trivia. Duh. So this is the last film completed by Jane Vigo before his death from tuberculosis at 29.
That is a depressing fun fact. Not quite fun, but it is trivia.
After the controversial failure of his short Zero for Conduct in 1933, it was crucial for Jane Vigo to secure a well-known actor for his debut feature. Michael Simon was approached with the script, and when asked what Vigo had previously done, he was told a film banned by the censors. Simon exclaimed, "Oh, bravo!" and immediately agreed to the project.
I dig that attitude.
The film has appeared several times in the Sight and Sound Critics poll, including at 34th place in 2022.
Ah,
So hey, it's a film that even though it's been so fucking long, we're not even far away from 100 years now. Where it's a little bit longer, and it's still be referenced even today. Hilarious.
yeah. Um, it sounds like you thought it was okay from how you described it.
It was an okay film. Purely just from the bits and bobs I have seen, a fucking 5. If I watched it
Fair.
fully, it might have been a higher, it might have been lower. I couldn't tell you.
I didn't see it, so I won't rate it. Next up, we have The Barretts of Wimple Street, which may be the worst title of the year.
I just want to mention. I believe that there's a remake for it in 1957.
Fair enough. The Barretts of Wimple Street is a melodrama, I think is probably the best way to describe it. It has Charles Laughton in it, and he plays a controlling father figure kind of character.
Yeah,
How much can I say without saying how much I disliked this film? I hated The Barretts of Wimple Street.
it was okay. It was okay.
Yeah.
So the full detail is basically give you guys some context here is that the father decided that nobody in his family can marry, and of course, nevertheless, someone says, "Hey, yo, cuh, no," and
Yeah, I
that's
feel like that would be an unreasonable demand. I feel like everyone would just go, "No, fuck you."
yeah. I thought the film it had some intriguing ideas, and it also dealt with a very intriguing topic. Because it's something that's not touched upon in film really, or even in modern day. Is sexual addiction, and it's something that's touched upon in this fucking film, which is kind of cool.
Probably not handled the greatest, but it's the 30s. I can't blame it too
It's
much.
better in modern day, where there's almost nothing being talked about when it comes to sex addiction. This is it's a neat eye
The
into it.
the like 7 films that have come out in the past decade about sex addiction.
And those films all can suck. This is better. And
Wait, AC,
name
get
all
out of
7
here.
films. Name all 7 films that came out. Name all 7 films that came out of sex addiction. I'll wait. All.
I don't know all of them by heart because it's not really a subgenre I watch, but I know there's Nymphomaniac and I know there's like 5 of them.
So all part of the same series. I'm gonna all together into one. So we got ourselves a oneer. Okay. Oh, so yeah, this confirms what I was saying earlier. Is it does have an in color remake in 1957. That's kind of cool.
No thanks.
Not many films get that treatment.
No.
Let's go
I
here.
gave it a 4.
I'm gonna be a bit stribby before I give it any rating.
Yeah.
Concerned about the public's reaction, the disturbing subplot about Father Barrett's incestuous designs on his daughter was toned down by the studio. However, Charles Laughton famously remarked that they couldn't censor the gleam in his eyes.
Okay, Lawton, you fucking weirdo.
As a fun thing to mention, that this is based off the book, so you can read that.
Yeah. I think I'll pass. I don't know if that book review's ever coming, guys.
It was remade literally word for word and scene for scene by the same director, Sidney Franklin, in Studio MGM as the Barrett. So it's a complete remake for the 1957 iteration. Okay. Charles Laughton, who played Elizabeth Barrett's Norma Shear's father, was only 3 years older than Shear herself.
That is really funny. They didn't care back then, did they?
They did not, considering everyday man looks old as shit. So I will give it a 6.
Fair enough. You want to talk about a weird ass film? The Black Cat.
No, this is a good one.
Yeah, it's strange film. It's kind of like a B movie. I think it's kind of a horror film, but not really.
So the main point of the film is these 2 honeymooners. We're getting to Hawaiian couples that are in, I believe, somewhere in Hungary, Austria, somewhere around there. They become trapped in a home of Satan worshippers.
Because of course, that's what happens in 1930s Hollywood.
Yep. And that's the fucking film.
It was pretty good. It was fun, I think is how I would describe The Black Cat. It's not a very like deep or engaging film, but it'll keep you entertained.
It is very entertaining in some parts. Um, Especially when he fucking finds, I believe the character's name is Weird Gas, and they're fucking crouching and shit, and he starts fucking shooting his damn gun and stuff. It's really fucking cool, especially when they use fucking demolition charges and shit. I actually
Uh,
enjoyed that.
I love old timey or just like practical effects in general, and this is an era of exclusively practical effects. And it's so fun to watch whenever they have the $5 to spare.
Yep. And the cult gets destroyed in the end. Spoiler alert, I
Of
guess.
course,
um, Something that's kind of cool, and I believe this happens, or I have to actually make sure. Is the yeah. So the what was his damn name? It's fucking Joan. The Peter and Joan read a review of his latest novel, which complains that the plot is too fucking far fetched. Which basically does like all fucking like real, but like happened to fucking them. But people are like, nah, that couldn't happen, bro. Too fake, not real.
I that is probably one of my most annoying things I hear from people is a story is too far fetched. It's a story. It's fiction.
Um, I really love the idea that it's not often that we see in film where we see they're critiquing when a story even sounds too far fetched. I actually really love that. I'm surprised you didn't use this fucking poster, Oz. This fucking poster's fucking banging. Oh, let me show you
I
this
just kind of
shit.
used the first one I saw.
This one goes a little too hard.
Oh my god, why didn't I? Scyther from editing. Edit this in real fast. Show the people. Holy shit!
Let me slide it into the fucking. Let me slide it into the
Should be even
slideshow.
better.
I'm gonna put it inside a damn slideshow. This shit's actually a little too damn good if you catch my drift, people. Let me get
Damn,
over
it very
here.
gives off the Satan cult vibes.
Yep.
Uh, what did you think of The Black Cat?
Honestly, this fucking film it kept me entertained. Truly, it did. This is a nice fucking seven, especially because they're fucking critiquing it itself, which is so rare.
Yeah, I also gave it a 7. I thought it was a fun little film. What is next on our list? Oh boy.
Next up is Cleopatra, my bad bitch.
I don't think I think she's been dead longer than you've been alive many times
So,
over.
so
Oh, oh no, I didn't realize you were into that. Oh no.
I will raise
Anyways,
the dead
moving.
one day.
Uh, Scyther into the mummies.
She'd be my mummy.
Oh man, I walked right into that one, didn't I?
Mhm.
Yeah, I did. This is a historical quotation marks film about Cleopatra. It's kind of like a picture, kind of, sort of. Uh, and I do mean that this film makes the minimal effort to be historical. I can't even blame it for not being historical because of how little effort it puts into it. Like it is genuinely seems like that wasn't the goal here.
I do want to toss in at least two pieces of trivia for the last film. I didn't add any.
Oh, great.
So among the unconventional elements of this film was the soundtrack. At the time, in the early 1930s, when movie music was usually limited to the titles and credits, Edgar G. Ulmer had almost continuous background score throughout the entire film. That is some very neat trivia right there. That's unheard
That's some
of.
dedication.
Edgar G. Ulmer admitted in an interview that Edgar Allan Poe's story was credited to draw public attention, despite the fact it had nothing to do with the story in the movie. All right, that's all. I don't have to just toss those in there.
About the Black Cat.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was an Edgar Allan Poe story. I'll have to read that.
Ooh.
Expect some Edgar Allan Poe reviews and me to be in absolute misery. Uh, but on to Cleopatra. we're both little history nerds, you know.
Yep.
How would you what do you think of the quote unquote historicity of this film?
It made an attempt. And Lore didn't make an attempt, but Lore did it. Fucking, it went off the rails pretty quick.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, this turned into a melodrama before I could even blink.
Now, I won't lie. I really enjoyed the drama. They were if it was like remade in the modern times. Oh man, this would have made some monies.
Also
Who
probably would have pissed off the entirety of History Tube.
fucking cares about them? They're irrelevant, literally.
And also they make all their videos about complaining. But anyways, before I get trashed on, Cleopatra. This movie is weird. Um, you can tell this is like kind of the middle point of the Hays Code because Claudette Colbert is not wearing a whole lot for most of this film.
This film has a very intriguing. It's almost two for. It's like it's I mean not it's not two for one. It's almost 1-to-1 with a very well known story. If you've never heard of it, it's called Romeo and Juliet. It's almost 1-for-1 with that. It's kind of weird
I
because
didn't think about that.
if you think about it, old Antony believes that old Cleo more or less fucking deserted him, and he stabs himself. When Cleo returns, she gets heartbroken and fucking finds him dying, and then boom, she kills herself afterwards. That's
Oh yeah, that is Romeo and Juliet.
yeah. Of course it's a little different, of course, but it's more or less that.
Yeah. Um, God, I don't know. This film was also one of the first 30s films I've seen with a huge set. Did you see the opening with all like the hundreds of extras they had running around?
Yes. The
That is insanity.
there's only two other films that I know basically beat it out, and that's that one Russian film with like over 1,000 people like on this set, and the
Was
other
it, October.
yeah, and the other one was I believe a Chinese. Well, it's not really Chinese, but it's a film's for China.
Hmm. Oh, why'd you have to say it like that?
Cause why not?
Fair enough. What did you? What would be your overall thoughts on Cleopatra?
I thought the film overall was it's definitely not saying a lot of history, but I don't really care, especially when they're trying to put their own spin on it, which
Mhm.
it's a fucking film. I'm not expecting you to basically go completely. This is their entire damn life. It's boring because apparently all don't forget all humans their lives are fucking boring except for the most iconic damn parts. Um, I'm not sitting in a fucking theater watching some bullshit for about like what 2 hours, but the fucking film
Oh, wait till you get to the 40s.
the fucking film is good. It's been solid. It's an 8, but I will give some trivia once you get your thoughts out.
It was all right. It was a kind of fun film, but it was as deep as a puddle. 6 out of 10.
In 1934, the Hays Code was only just being implemented, so Cecil B. DeMille made sure to flaunt its restrictions while he was still legally able to do so. He opens the film with a apparent naked but strategically lit slave girl holding an incense burner in each hand as the title appears on screen.
Yep.
This was the most popular movie at the U.S. box office for 1934.
Damn.
In reality, at the time, Octavian was only 11 years old, not the adult as portrayed in the fucking film.
Oh shit.
Yeah. From the outset, Cecil B. DeMille was determined to bring Cleopatra's story to the masses, feeling that William Shakespeare and George Bernard Shaw versions were too highbrow.
Oh.
Finally, in 1956, Cecil B. DeMille remembered Claudette Colbert wanted to do something different with Cleopatra, not make her a lofty or fuzzy superstitious, nothing like that. She set out to give her humor and humanity, which I believe she did very well enough. And she stamped her own personality on the role. She emerged from it, and most vividly, I thought. And I think she did amazingly. She made a character as her damn own.
Yeah.
So, next up is The Imitation of Life. Oh boy.
This film was weird. This film was the weirdest thing I've ever seen. So, I want you to imagine, Scyther. a woman. I know it's difficult. And she hires a maid who's really good at making pancakes. Or was it waffle? I think it was waffles. And they open a waffle shop in the Depression, and it's really successful for some reason. They become super wealthy by selling their boxed waffle mix. Um, and then they talk about racism for a little bit, and then they have a mixed race child who is upset that she exists. They don't address this any further. Um, the maid lady dies, and the film just keeps going, even though she was the main character. Um,
Um, I also saw
this
here
film's weird shit.
that this film does have a remake in 1959, which I believe it more or less puts the daughter as the center stage.
Oh,
Yes, because if you weren't
oh, it's a
aware,
late '50s film. Okay.
if you weren't aware, this is a certain period of time where it's a bit more hard hitting as to why they would put the daughter as the center stage.
Yeah.
Mixed race children
Um.
weren't very pog champ.
No, or yeah, they weren't. Yeah. So, um, I know I've said it, but this film is strange. I don't know how this got released, who wrote it, why they wrote it. This is just all over the place. This film is insanity. Like I cannot portray it enough through this video. This film is just the what the fuck is happening? It changes every 20 minutes the plot changes. And I kind of love it for that reason, but it's also kind of terrible.
So what I loved the most is the subplots. They basically had it all going on. There were some neat subplots. Mostly it kind of went the route of fucking Family Guy in a sense where it all wraps up at the very end. Like all the subplots are neatly bowed together. For example, the whole college damn thing. I thought that was neat. Um, if I remember correctly, somebody gets a whole rabbit's fucking foot or some shit. That's a whole thing.
I
And
compared this '30s movie to Family Guy.
I mean, Family Guy notoriously has made tons of references to ancient films as basically being its inspiration. So,
That's
eh.
true.
Yeah. And I believe there's a whole thing involving a restaurant and it's like segregation and shit. It's okay. I believe the remake does a lot better job though.
I'll have to watch that when we get to 1959 and we can compare the two films.
Yep. So of course I have some trivia.
Oh boy, there's
Freddie
gonna be some depressing trivia.
Freddie Washington, Piola at 19, was a light-skinned African American. After playing this role, she was criticized by some of the black community who labored under misconception that the actress herself practiced self-hatred and would rather pass herself off as white. In fact, Miss Washington was an avid civil rights activist.
Um,
So something that it's a very sensitive topic, obviously, is black people and racism and slavery. Many people who were black long ago during slave times, the best position to be in was that you were inside the house. That was the best position, obviously, and that is a bit of a stigma, of course, during this period. Obviously, that's gone, obviously, but like there's always been a beef between light skin and dark skinned people, and and people can try to know what they want. It's always been a damn thing.
yeah.
So I believe it might stem from that. It's like some old iteration of that. I'm not sure. Hattie McDaniel, old Hattie, appears as a funeral guest. She was 5 years away from her breakout role as Mammy in Gone with the Wind in 1939.
Oh, Gone with the Wind. That's gonna be a strange film. Long, by the way. I hope you're ready to suffer.
Oh, it's gonna be great. Despite this being a universal fucking film, Claudette Colbert would get up to 2 hours earlier and meet Dorothy Pondell at Paramount Studios, so she could have had Pondell, preferred makeup artist, prepare her for filming.
That's petty.
And finally, Paramount loaned Claudette Colbert to Universal for the film.
Why did they say that like she's a piece of? I mean, it's '30s Hollywood. She is a piece of property.
Yeah.
Um, Studios basically owned their actors. Um, what would you give a film like this?
5.
4. This was bad. But it was the good kind of bad that keeps you entertained. Better to watch while on drugs, I'll say. Um, The Goddess. I didn't watch this film because I was busy and did not want to watch a foreign language film at that time.
I watched this. This is the film I most definitely watched. I recall this one because it was set in China.
It was also made in China.
Yeah. So, if I remember correctly, the fucking film is about a streetwalker
Yeah, that's a polite way to put it.
and a devoted mother by day. She is fighting. She's fucking fighting to basically get her son an education, which this is something that it's the damn dawn of the end time. I said this in a prior video that of course is the oldest profession in human history, and it's often done for noble reasons. For example, providing for your fucking children. And I won't knock you for that, but I will say I will judge the fuck out of you if you don't have any kids, though. I will judge the fuck out of you, man. But you're being hard judged. But it's a whole film based, of course, on social injustice as well, which is this is so intriguing, especially in this portion of like China's history.
There's a lot going on in China in the 30s.
Yes, It's also unfortunate the main actress for this film dies. It's like I literally like almost a complete year later after this.
Oh.
Yeah, I think you might know why.
Yeah, I can make an assumption.
Yeah. She will be must be going on name Gunameter. Her name is Leng Yuron. She is the baddest bitch. I said it. Unfortunate that she does not live too long. Rest in peace. So, outside of that, I believe so. Of course, with this film, I won't dive in too heavy on the story because who fucking cares? It's fucking 1904.
Also, from China, it also seems incredibly depressing.
Yeah, it is depressing because in the end, the mother, of course, the Nightwalker is convicted of murder of a certain criminal. Um,
Oh.
if I remember correctly, it does end on a good note, at least in regard to the fucking son. Is that the principal reads the newspaper and he visits the damn mom in prison, and he basically like, adopts the fucking son,
Oh.
which is really fucking cool. Uh, Basically, to be like not burden the son with anything. She basically tells the fucking principal to basically say, "Hey, I'm fucking dead," and
Oh.
yeah, it's she fucking smiles and she's happy for her son, and then it's a cold reality where she's in prison now. There is no happy ending for her, especially in Chinese prison. Oh boy. This is actually a very popular thing in China. That despite the fact that this is a fucking film, of course, is that prior to this, that the goddess, or rather, fucking Miss Ruan, she basically sets a standard for a lot of flappers in China. That not all fucking flappers need makeup, like those whores in the West.
Did you hearing you use the term flapper for a Chinese woman is incredibly disorienting, but I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, Chinese people had that natural beauty. They didn't need to wear makeup like a certain Western. That's fucking funny to think about. Um,
I don't know if I buy that, but go fair enough.
the so basically, Miss Kui Pao, I believe, is like the outfit she like Miss fucking Ruan. The outfit she even wears is a very like at the time a very popular like style of like clothing she was wearing. It's called a Kui Pao, I believe. And it was also seen often in well-to-do women, courtesans, dance hostess, actresses, students, workers. It was a very, 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 very much acceptable like clothing style for, despite the fact it's kind of fetishized.
Yeah.
And I will now hand out some trivia if it even has any. I'm not sure. This film was really fucking good. The film title has several layers of meaning. On one level, it is a description of the nameless character played by Ruan Langwu, who is equated with a protective goddess in the film. On another level, the title refers to her character's occupation. In the Chinese term, Shinmu, while primarily meaning goddess, also has an old euphemism for prostitute.
Ah,
But this film has a 100% rating based on 5 critic reviews on Rotten Tomato.
that's not a huge pool of people, but I'll give it to him.
This is a film where I think it was so good, it's deserving of an AM10.
Okay. I'm plopping it on my watch list.
Yep. This is a film where if you want to see the things from the minds of a Chinese person, or their life, their whole thing, go ahead. Especially in this period before it all becomes communist.
Yeah. I guess it's time to talk about the Best Picture winner.
Yep. It happened one night.
One of the first romantic comedies. And it has two of the biggest stars of the 30s, Clark Gable and Claudette Colbert. This is a kind of legendary film like Wings. Not because it's great, I mean, it is, but just because of the production. This is a film about a woman of royalty, I think, who runs away and ends up falling in love with a reporter who she actually starts off hating because romantic comedy.
um. So I sent a little image of the actress who sadly passed away.
Oh.
She is the easiest 10 out of 10 on the Good meter. I'll put her out there. But outside of that, this film was intriguing. I thought it was okay.
I really liked it.
It was a film like, yeah. I did.
It has some good bits and some cute moments.
I did like Clark Gable's fucking performance though. He did a really good job.
You're going to be seeing a lot more of him in the coming years.
Ooh.
Big actor, one of the biggest of the 30s, actually. One of those. If you hear about the Hollywood Golden Age, he's like one of the first names you'll hear. Yeah, he's kind of synonymous with the 30s Hollywood. Also because women find him very attractive, which is why he's done a bunch of romance movies. But regardless, what did you think of It Happened One Night?
It was okay. I don't know. I thought in Gable, I didn't care for the whole performance from the female damn lead. I really didn't care for her. Yeah, I did not care for her performance.
That's fair. It's a kind of a generic performance, but that's of the time.
Yeah.
Does this film have any interesting trivia?
Let's take a gander. Yeah. Let's go down here. Also, I think corrected. She did not. Miss Ling did not die in the way we expected from a Chinese person during the 1930s. Oh no, she did not. She killed herself.
Oh.
She killed herself.
Oh god.
She OD'd on barberettes, and her suicide note contained a line which says, "Gossip is a fearful thing." Oh my god, is this the first case of gossip being a killer?
I mean, it's probably been a thing in a lot of human history, but yes, probably in film at least.
So, on the trivia side of things here, Clark Gable gave the Oscar he won for his performance in this film to a child who admired it, telling him it was the winning of the statue that mattered, not owning it. The child returned the Oscar to the Gable family after Clark's death.
No.
I like that. That's really cute.
That's really cute.
Yep. Columbia did not have much faith in this film. It released without much fanfare and little advertising. It was quickly pushed out to the secondary theaters where it suddenly became a runaway success. It eventually became Columbia's biggest hit to date.
Oh, shit.
That is amazing. It happened one
I
night.
know.
1934 became the first film to perform a clean sweep of the top five Academy categories.
Oh
As
Jesus.
the Oscar Grand Slam, Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actor, Best Actress, Best Screenplay, the fifth feat would be later duplicated by One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest in 1975 and 1936, and The Silence of the Lambs in 1991. In 1992, however, it would happen one night is the only one not nominated in any other category.
Oh.
Yep, Frint Freelings, oh, that's a damn name. Unpublished memoirs mentioned that this was one of his favorite films, and it contained at least three things which the character Bugs Bunny was based on. That's
Oh.
okay. That's I didn't expect that one. The character Oscar Shapley's Roscoe Karn's personality, the matter in which Peter Warren, Clark Gable, was eating carrots, and the talking quickly at the same time, an imaginary character mentioned once to frighten Oscar Shapley, named Bugs Dooley. Other mentions of Looney Tune character of other Looney Tunes, good lord, characters from the film include Alexander Andrews and King Wesley being the inspiration for Yosemite Sam and Pepe Le Pew, respectively.
I did not. That makes sense given the timeline of when Bugs Bunny was written as a character, only less than 10 years from this point.
This is the last piece of the trivia I want to give out because it's so fucking funny. Clark Gable was loaned to this film by MGM as punishment for his affair with Joan Crawford. That's. I'm sorry. What?
I love it.
Yeah. Oh, her funeral. Oh, my lord. Let's not read that trivia. This. Next film. Oh wait, do we have our ratings on this one yet, or no?
Yeah, we have not. I gave It Happened One Night a 9.
Gave it a 6.
Fair. Different taste.
Yep.
Let's watch a really weird comedy.
Yep, it's a gift.
Gift.
This was a good one.
Mostly made by W.C. Fields, though directed by Norman Z. McLeod. It's a Gift is. I'm gonna be honest. I don't really like whatever W.C. Fields. That's his name. Fuck. I don't really like his style of comedy much. Or most of his films, anyways. And this is an earlier film from him, and as a result, is a little off for me. It's about a guy who encounters a lot of money and does stupid things as a result.
Yeah. Let's see. Hold on. I actually have to name notes for this film somewhere. It was a nice tickler. That's what I call a film. A nice little tickler. That's a good phrase.
You've been watching too many old movies.
Damn right I have. So, if I remember correctly, this film's budget was not the highest, or was it?
Not surprising for a comedy.
So the thing I loved the most in this little storyline they have going on here is so the plot itself. This is of course very common in any comedy film, even modern ones. The actual story is very much fucking secondary.
Yeah, it's a first and foremost just there to bring you laughs. It's just kind of a family man trying to enjoy his day and failing to do so.
Only, and this is my of course in my opinion, only true great films can mesh together both of them without basically making one higher than the other. This is not one of those films, obviously. But a good example of such a film is Are We There Yet? Yes, I love that film. And of course, it is a damn 10 out of 10, and we'll get to that in like 2000 fucking something.
It'll be a bit.
Yeah. So I thought the film's length was decent. It was like 67 minutes, 68, something like that.
It was kind of featurette opposed to a feature film.
Yeah. One thing I do know is that there is a quote in this film that's often misquoted like fucking crazy.
Oh,
Yes. At the climax of the film, Harold is haggling with the developer, who angrily claims that Harold is drunk. Harold responds, "Yeah, and you're crazy, and I'll be sober tomorrow, and you'll be crazy the rest of your life," which I really loved.
by the way, W.C. Fields was a terrible alcoholic who eventually drank himself to death.
Hey, that's some real bass shit right there.
No,
That's bass as fuck. He went out his way. Now damn nature says that's some real fucking thug shit. It
what did you think of It's a Gift?
was okay. It was a comedy. It was a mid tier comedy film to me.
It was a little too slow for my taste. I gave it a 4.
5. But
Yeah.
trivia. The final
Yes.
scene on Bissonnette's Orange Ranch was filmed at the house and property of W.C. Fields. Was living at the time of the filming. For his entire life, Fields rented living quarters, aptly refusing to buy a house or land.
Ah.
Because he knew that you didn't actually own it, by the way. You don't, by the way.
Oh, what?
The $5,000 that Harold pays for the Orange Grove in California would be equal to around $89,000 in 2015.
Damn.
This is a film debut of Chill Willis. It's Chili Willis. I'm like, oh, fuck's Chili Willis? This is
He
one of
makes chili.
this is one of David Lynch's favorite films.
I respect David Lynch less.
In 2010, It's a Gift was added to the National Film Registry by the United States Library of Congress.
Good for them.
I think
That's warranted.
Shrek got added from Corvus. Pretty sure it did.
I hate that.
Yeah.
Oh boy, we got trash coming up.
Oh boy, I love me some trash. Oh, Judge Priest.
Yeah. This is a film about a proud Confederate veteran who's also a judge. And this film is meandering, I think is the word I would use. It kind of is all over the place and doesn't really have a lot of through threads. And ends up becoming a legal drama, which for some reason in the mid to late 40s would become very popular for random films just to become legal dramas. Just out of nowhere. But I guess I should address the elephant in the room with this film. This film is painfully racist. Like, it's not subtle. It is terrible in that aspect. Again, the main character is literally like a proud Confederate, and they dick suck the Confederates so hard in this movie because you got to remember in the 1930s there were still Civil War veterans around.
As a reminder, in this very important context here as to why there's so much damn dick sucking, is that it's in a town where the Confederacy had a very much obvious influence. That's a very important context, so it's not being included.
Well, also it's Hollywood, and they wanted to pander to Confederate veterans.
Yes, but that's the thing. It's so important. Context is important. I want to include that in there.
Yeah. Yeah, this film is kind of hard to watch. Even outside of that, there's not much here other than just like very mundane Southerner things. What did you think of Judge Priest?
I will not be anywhere nearly as hard on it because I don't care about the Confederacy like that. But I thought it was okay. I love the one thing I love the most, and I think it was a neat thing, was the fucking barber. He was such a neat character. He's basically trying to romance fucking lady, and I thought it was such an interesting little thing. The outside of that, I thought that it had a lot of interesting what was it fucking called? it really tackles the fucking bias of I believe the character is the fucking Maydu. It was the whole the fucking senator, uh, and it really gets into the racism side of damn things and his clear fucking bias on things, and he's trying to fucking fucking force the protagonist to rescue himself due to the whole assault damn thing going on. I digged it just for that alone. Um, Now, beyond that, I thought the film was, yeah, it was okay. I don't care about the racism side. I truly don't. Hence why it will not affect my score at all.
I gave it a 2.
Eh, easy fucking 4.
Mm, fair enough. This one is very self-explanatory.
Trivia.
Oh, trivia. Sorry.
This is based on Irvin S. Cobb's character of Judge Priest was a compromise on-screen source credit. Because Fox wanted to use based on the Judge Priest stories by Irvin S. Cobb. Mr. Cobb adjusted because he had written over 70 stories, was still writing them, and the statement might inhibit future sales of them. I don't know who Irvin S. Cobb is.
Presumably a writer.
Yeah, but is anything actually good?
I mean, if you wrote that many stories, probably not.
Never know. Shit, there's been some damn bangers if they wrote like over 100 damn. Yeah, fucking Goosebumps. What the fuck do you want?
No, my point stands. Yeah, no.
Goosebumps is god tier. It's no. No culture, no aura, no fucking riz. I'm taking your damn card.
I never had one. I'm white.
You gonna be white and have an aura? What? Nah, see, your self-hatred is not cool.
You said my card.
Yeah, your card. Your aura card. Did I say your inward pass or something? I didn't.
I have no idea what an aura card is.
See? Yeah, you lost it. It's gone now. All knowledge is gone. Anyway, John Ford later used the line about a drinker's breath being like a hot mince pie, and she wore a yellow ribbon in 1949. In 1972 interview, a year before he died, director John Ford stated that this was his favorite film.
Huh.
I can see why. The fucking film is fucking good. It also tackles on a very important part is that, of course, one of, I'm not going to change anything in the score just based off this alone. It really does make the black actor they're like the center stage for real. Which I fucking thought was cool.
Did we watch the same movie?
Yeah!
Because the black characters in this, are kind of treated like animals. They're really rowdy, and they're not... Okay.
This film, as I want to remind you, is credited numerous times by numerous black organizations where the actor is put out there. So I was going to mention that, but beyond that, yeah, this fucking film's in a fucking 5. I like that. I like that. Yeah, fucking Jeff. Yeah, fucking Steppen Fitch. I like this shit. But anyway, the fucking film is okay. And what's the next one here? Oh, the Manhattan melodrama. That's okay.
Yeah, this is a pseudo-disaster love triangle film. Obviously set in Manhattan.
This fucking film.
This was a strange film, and it definitely was not my favorite. This was kind of boring for most of its runtime.
I think this film had a very interesting concept. I like the idea of that these two people that knew each other for so long. They're both fucking orphans. They grew up in two separate damn areas. Fucking with the damn law and shit, and they both fucking love the same damn woman. That is a great fucking idea. The execution, on the other hand, that's a whole other story. But of course, Clark Gable returns, and oh my lord,
You like you some Clark Gable?
I do.
You got a little man crush on the Gable?
Nah, his damn mustache though. That's fucking God's here. I want that.
Oh yeah. Has that very old gentleman thing going about it.
It reminds me of this fucking gag on fucking Family Guy, where
Oh, it's bad.
there's a gag where it's James Bond. It's like, remember, gentlemen, when a woman says no, it actually means yes. It's like, no, James, not yes, yes. and, and she's like, okay, see, no means yes.
Oh God.
It's a whole rape thing, and it's not poggers.
I think I'm gonna put off Family Guy as long as I can get away with.
It'll come for you.
I don't. Yeah, and it's 9,000 episodes.
You think it's bad? Let's wait for The Simpsons.
Oh God. Anyways, back to the Manhattan melodrama. This film also has William Powell in it, who is also a very famous actor and very well respected. There's not much to say about this movie. Not much happens until the last 10 minutes. There's an earthquake. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, like that. So I thought the film, as you'll hear me say a lot of these films, was okay, but it also features an idea of a steamboat. I like steamboats.
That's fair.
I believe it also references a very much a whole historical fucking event too, which is very intriguing. I did not think it would do that. So it uses the P.S. General Sulcan, which is, well, of course, a fucking steamboat. This boat is referenced in a crap ton of fucking books, plays, and movies. And I don't know fucking why. I mean, yeah, it's a damn steamboat, but what's so important about it? That it requires all this shit to be mentioned of it. I think that so of course there's actually a natural damn reason. It is actually prior to the sinking of the steamboat Sultana, and until the September 11th attacks in 2001, it was the deadliest man-made disaster of any fucking sort in New York.
Oh.
Yeah, and New York has always kind of had that big dick power energy, to be for real. So I think that's probably why I was mentioned so fucking much.
Fair.
I do like the whole there's a whole thing going on here as to, I believe one of the characters lost their fucking son due to the whole sinking stuff. There's a Russian guy and there's a Jew. He gets trampled to death and stuff. I thought it was interesting. And there's also a thing about Leon Trotsky. He fucking heckles.
As you do.
He heckles Leon Trotsky or some shit. I think the I like how he handles the whole protagonist. He handles this because he realizes that what he's going to do is that he might ruin his whole fucking career over his fucking friend. So there was a whole thing here is that the character Jim, he basically offers to commute the whole death sentence, but the character Blackie turns it down and stuff. And he basically says that he basically does not want his friend to ruin his whole career, and he's okay with fucking rotting away inside a hole. A few days later, a whole joint a whole thing was do a whole session and stuff, and he basically reveals how the whole murder basically helped him win the election, and his whole principles were whole compromised with a whole compromise thing there. It'd be commute his friend's sentence, and he basically hands in his whole resignation and stuff. And I think that's cool, especially considering that it ends on a good note for the whole kind of like a protag in the sense that he ends up with the girl because she basically says, "Okay, I was wrong about you. I admit I was wrong. Let's see where this one goes." And it ends off at a very ambiguous point, and I really fucking like that.
Fair enough.
I think the film is deserving of a six, no higher, no lower.
I also gave it a 6.
Yeah. I of course had some trivia because trivia is the main thing here. Uh,
Mhm.
huh. So, the opening scene depicts the General Slocum's disaster on the morning of June 15th, 1904. The popular excursion steamer caught fire in New York's East River while transporting passengers to a picnic organized by St. Mark's Evangelical German Lutheran Church, which, by fun fact for any people that don't know, there's not been that many of those left in America. So of course, the Lutheran churches still exist, obviously, but the German ones, oh no, baby, they're almost all gone. On the Lower East Side of Manhattan, within an estimated 1,021 fatalities, mostly women and children, this was New York's single worst tragedy in terms of lives lost before 9/11. An incompetent and
Oh, damn.
experienced crew was held primarily blamed for the tragedy. Ah, this is the first of 14 pairings of Myrna Loy and William Powell, and the first of three movies they would make together in 1934.
Mm.
George Cukor was assigned as the director for additional scenes after the preview the preview showing on 14th of April 1994 because director W.S. Van Dyke had already started his next film, The Thin Man. Good film, by the way.
Yeah. I think is that next year or this? I think it's this year, isn't
It
it?
is literally this year, and it's also on our
Yeah.
list.
Yes.
So yeah, this was a good enough looking film. Is it the best thing in the world? No, but it's good.
Fair enough. What would you give the? Did you say 6 for the
Yeah,
Manhattan melodrama?
yeah, I give it a
Yeah,
six.
6. Same. Weird film, or at least weird name. The Gay Divorcee. This is one of those Fred Astaire films we've been talking about.
Now, let's clarify this. So, when they mean gay, they mean happy, right?
I mean, yes, but it's much funnier to imagine it the other way.
Yeah, I don't want to clarify people out there because it's modern audience with all all their doodads and their social progression. We gotta make sure they know that the gay did not always mean what it meant. Um, this fucking film. Oh my man.
The elephant in the room with this film is the kind of weird, pushy romance, but also the fact that there's a song sequence that goes on for 20 minutes.
Still loses out the High School Musical.
It's still ridiculous.
This is a film that I love the whole thing of fucking fake lovers, and that is something that that happens. It's a film that tackles it, and I loved it. I also love the female lead. She even slayed this fucking role. Um, Beyond that, this film was not. There's not that much of it to talk about, at least from my end.
There's a shit ton of dancing, if that's your thing.
It is not.
Well, fair. It was all right. It was good. I gave it a 7. You?
A seven is worthy. Um,
Yeah.
I think that so a fucking fun fact. This is not the last time we'll see these two fucking together. They will be
Of course.
they will be here together until 1939. This is
Which is when Fred Astaire's career takes a nosedive.
and when she goes into non-musicals.
Mm.
Yep. I think that she is an actress who is deserving of so much more, which she did not get, unfortunately. She does end up reuniting with Mr. Astaire, though. I
Mm.
believe sometime in the mid to late fucking 40s, he comes back and she's like, "Oh yeah, sure, the team is back together."
Oh hell yeah.
Beyond that, I think this film needs to have its trivia written, like put a name of like written, yeah, whatever, read, yeah, that's the word. Uh,
Rewritten.
yeah,
Oh.
that too. Ugh. The musical number, the Continental, will last for 17 minutes and a half. Excuse me, 17 and a half minutes. The longest number ever in a musical until Gene Kelly's 18 and a half minute ballet at the end of An American in Paris, 1951. 17 later, it is also the longest musical in all of Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers films together.
17 and a half minutes. That is a long ass music sequence.
Yep, this is also the first film to win an Academy Award for Best Original Song. The Continental. Oscar statuettes were won by Conrad. Conrad. That's not cool. Herb Madison, as in 1934, was the first year when an Oscar for this category was first introduced. Good for him.
Mm.
I'm gonna be real. I thought we introduced sooner. It's not.
I suppose not.
The stage musical on which the wait, isn't that about stage music? That's kind of crazy. On which this movie was based was titled "Gay Divorcee." To me, the Gay Divorce. But because of objections from a censor, the title's film was changed to "The Gay Divorcee." A divorcee might possibly be happy, but it was felt the institution of divorce could never be.
Ah, Hayes sticking his nose in things again.
Yep, this is the second of 10 Disney partnerships of Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers.
Mm.
Ginger Rogers. Mm-mm-mm. But,
Hollywood ass name.
uh, so, outside of that, I think that's all for this fucking film, yeah?
Yeah. 7.
It's time. Oh, yeah. Fucking 5.
Yeah.
Uh,
The Lost Patrol.
Yep, this film.
Is a man's film, and you can tell they were very much marketing it towards manly men.
Yep. This film. It's set in World War One, so that's a thing.
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna be real. It's a damn Warfin film. If you've seen one, you've seen all of them. I'm just being real.
I disagree. I really liked The Lost Patrol. It was a really engaging war movie that is really dynamic because it basically just takes place in one place. But they do so much with it that it becomes very entertaining.
I don't know.
I really liked The Lost Patrol.
I've seen a lot of like over the course of my 24 years of living. I guess almost 25 at this point. I've seen a lot of Warfin films, and a lot of them do exactly this, like what this film does. So that's.
I'm not sure I can blame it, considering it was one of the first.
Yeah, but I know that we had to see this from the original point of view, but as a person that's seen so many films like this, I'm bored of it. So, I thought the idea is, of course, not for the time original, but for now, it's like, it was okay. Purely an okay film.
Fair enough.
It of course tackles the fucking British, which was I guess was fucking new. Because we usually see this from the eyes of the Americans or the Germans or Italians. There's fucking films with that.
Mostly Italian films, I assume.
Yeah, I gave this film a fucking 4.
Mm. I really enjoyed The Lost Patrol. I thought it was dynamic. I thought it was interesting. The drama was very fun. And generally, I thought it was very well put together. I gave it an 8.
Mm.
I might even rewatch it one day.
Here is some trivia. Victor McAlgan actually served with the Irish Fulseers in Methania, modern-day Iraq, during World War One. At the same time that the story takes place, he eventually rose to the Provost Marshal, the equivalent of the police of the chief of Baghdad. According to Boris Karloff, Biographer Peter Underwood, the temperature on the Yuma locations could be hot as 150 degrees, and the actors were limited to working 2 hours a day.
Oh shit.
Yep, the film was panned by critics due to Carlos' erratic and over-top performance. Yeah, I didn't care for his performance
Ah,
either. Um, Director John Ford's older brother, Francis Ford, appears as an uncredited role, where Francis appeared in many of his brother's films, often in as small and uncredited roles.
gotta suck being a bit actor. Uh, let's see. I think yeah, that's all there is to say about the Lost Patrol. Um, I would give it an 8. But let's get on to a very different kind of film, The Merry Widow,
Oh, oh boy.
which, if you think about it, is the same kind of title as The Gay Divorcee.
Yup, when a small Kingdom's main taxpayer leaves for Paris, it's King dispatches a dashing count to win her back.
Very cheesy 30s plot, but I can dig it.
This film has two iterations, by the way. I want to mention that.
Uh, oh?
You have the English version, and then you get yourself the French version.
Oh, so kind of like how they did Dracula?
Kinda, yeah.
Oh, interesting.
I thought this film. I thought it was interesting.
I didn't. I thought it was pretty fucking boring.
I found it interesting just because it's in a weird time frame, a very weird time frame, and I
Also, I think it's set in a. It's very strange, yeah.
so to explain the story a bit. So it's set in 1885. So we're in that weird period where, of course, the Victorian era is over by this point. But
Yeah.
but it's in a weird gap where it's still clearly influenced by the Victorian era, but we're not exactly there to the old 1900s. Just where there's a clear difference between Victorian and not. So it's
Yeah.
kind of like in a damn dead zone. So the royal nations, of course, they kind of like all became one thing here and there for different countries. Not in this case. For this one film, they're all separate. I believe this is set in Germany. Oh,
I am as unsure as you are.
um, because it mentions fucking Paris, and so I know for sure it's not set in fucking Spain, so it has to be the Germans. And by the way, people, this is a point in history where almost all Central Europe is basically this fucking German, all of it. And they'll say, but technically the Czechs were no, they're just fucking Germans. I don't care. They're just Germans. I don't care. Um, but the king, the king is such a beta male.
Oh, why you gotta say it like
He's a fucking beta male. And if I recall correctly, the person they can send to basically stop her basically ends up with the girl in the end.
that? Oof.
Um,
All right.
and they end up getting married in the end. It's a whole thing, even though that he's inside a prison cell. That's a whole thing. I liked the film. It was interesting enough for what it was, especially it's one of the few films that actually deals in a weird dead zone like era. I really fucking love that.
Yeah. I give it a 6.
Hmm. 7.
Yeah.
So next on our handy dandy list is Of Human Bondage.
Yeah, which is a strange name. They're referencing prisoners, by the way, and slavery. Except not really. A young man finds himself attracted to a cold and unfeeling waitress who ultimately destroy them both.
Tough.
This film's got Leslie Howard in it, so therefore it has to be at least okay.
I think this film might be based off a novel.
Oh.
I might be wrong. Not sure. Oh no, so it is. Cool. Well, I'll make the I'm gonna make the infant sure that I'm correct about that. Oh wait, no, we didn't do it again. Fucking trivia. That's film. Due to recent showing on TCM, it was stated that Jeanette MacDonald and Maurice Chevalier did not get along on this film. He called her a prude, and she called him a bottom pincher.
That I understand what he's saying, but that is such a strange way to phrase it, or that she's saying.
Their relationship had been deteriorating for some time, and this film was the last time they appeared together.
Oh.
And finally, this was the only film teaming Maurice Chevalier and Jeanette MacDonald in which they never sang together. Aware that their classical style was poorly matched to his popular vocalizing, Ernest Lubitsch even inserted a joke about the musical mismatch. At one point, Chevalier seemed to be serenading MacDonald with a cultural baritone, only Lubitsch revealed that the voice belonged to one of his orderlies.
I love that.
To the other film of human bondage. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ.
This was really boring. A lot of the films from this year were just really boring and uninteresting.
I think that it stuck too close to the fucking book. That's my opinion.
Have you read the book?
In high school.
So you actually know the source material.
Yes, I've read this, and I didn't like the book. I should have been Chose of Mice and Men.
I've seen the movie, and I'm going to be reading the book, and as far as I know, both were bad choices.
I would have at least been more interesting than this.
True. But then you would have also had to read George every 5 words.
But I'm autistic.
That's fair. You know what? You're right.
But so what's your opinions on this film? Outside of this being boring, is there any deeper things you want to talk about with this one?
I have a phenomenon I refer to as nothing films, and this is a nothing film.
So I'll hop like right into the trivia. I don't know what else to really say about this one film. In later years, Betty Davis said that she found Leslie Howard very frosty, and that this actually helped her performance, particularly for scenes requiring her to be horrible to him.
Oh.
I like that. I actually really love it when an actor or actress can play off the other person they don't like them or they like them or whatever.
Oh, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, I didn't hear you. My bad.
The opening shot of this film, before the title appears, shows the Eiffel Tower at dusk, just as the lights come on to spell out the word Citroen. In huge letters, the French car company paid to have this nightly advertisement on the tower from 1925 to 1934. It was made of 250,000 lights and reportedly was visible for 20 miles. When Citroen encountered financial difficulties in 1934, the contract was not renewed, and the lights were removed. Modern-day audiences are often surprised to learn that the Eiffel Tower was ever used for advertising. I'm just saying, give enough money to a country and they'll let you do anything. Little horse.
I did not know it was an advertisement. That is wild.
So I'm just saying, give enough money to America, and they'll let you do some crazy shit with the Statue of Liberty.
Put it in a bikini.
I wonder if there's Rule 34 about that.
There's, I'm sure. I just know. It's such a simple concept. It's like, of course.
Statue of Liberty, I'm looking it up. Oh my fucking god. What the? Why is she even so instead? She's gonna fuck gutters. What the fuck?
Anyway, back to the movie. I gave of Human Bondage a 6.
5.
Yeah, I get that.
There's a lot of AI art. There's a lot of AI art.
Of course there is. What were you expecting?
That was some actual talent for America's pride and joy.
I think I'm fine.
Let's go to the next film. The Scarlet Empress. Oh wait, no, excuse me. It's actually One Night of Love. Or something.
One Night of Love. It's a romance film. And I didn't watch it because it had a terrible average rating.
I didn't care for it, so I kind of dropped it like halfway through.
Probably not much to talk about with this film. It was bad. Don't watch it.
Trivia.
Okay.
This is the first film ever to win the Academy Award for Best Music Score.
That sounds like a mistake.
Much of the interior of Metropolitan Opera House was duplicated on Columbia's largest soundstage. That's all I'm going to give for this film.
Yeah, that's all it deserves.
Time for a better looking film. The Scarlet Empress. I actually really love this film.
Yeah, this film was actually pretty good. It is about a German. I think she's like a princess or something.
She's a noble. That's all she is.
Who's also Catherine the Great, by the way. And it's like a political drama, and it's kind of baller.
So, here's a little fun thing for all you history nerds. What's Catherine the Great's actual name?
I assume Catherine.
No, it's Sophia.
Oh shit, that's weird.
Yeah,
Kind of blindsided me with that one.
Yeah, her name is Sophia Fredrika.
Fair enough.
So, what I loved about this fucking film, because Lord, so the man who plays as the dumbass, yeah, he's a damn dumbass guy. I think that he played his role so fucking good. People fucking thought he was actually stupid.
Oh.
So here's a fun little thing that people don't know. The person that was playing as the man was actually a woman.
Oh.
Yeah, this is a very rare time, but we'll see. Well, rare for this time period at least. A woman playing a man's role.
Interesting.
I really love that. I think this film did a lot of neat progressive things, which you don't see with films for a while. Unfortunately, that's just how it is. It's part of showbiz, baby. You can't be all progressive and give black people roles. Well, you can kind of. If you actually had a big name.
I mean, you could. I mean, they do a lot, but they just they didn't want to.
You're damn right. Racism is king. It's the norm right now. It's currently the Sigma Alpha. What do them kids say? PogChamp?
Something like that. Get the Zoomers in here.
So,
there's another movie about. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
This film actually does feature a Miss Marlene Dietrich's damn daughter in it too, which is I thought was kind of cool. She fucking fun fact is actually still alive.
Oh damn.
Yeah, she was born in 1924 and she's still alive today. So she'll be 100 years old in December.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, which is really interesting.
Yeah.
So let's see here. So what did you think of this film outside of well, I think you already did that, so we can just skip over that.
Yeah, it was good. I liked it. 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm gonna give this film an 8.
Okay.
So this film costs a shit ton of money to actually make. First time period, it cost $900,000 to make.
That is a ton of money in the 30s.
Yeah. Paramount had actually originally settled on her Regiment of Lovers as a title for this film. But censors at the Hayes office, however, forced studio to change it.
There's the Hayes Code rearing its ugly head again.
Yeah. Although there are no music credits to the film, 5 men worked on adapting and arranging the score. The bulk of it consists of experts from Felix Mendelssohn in the early German scenes, and Peter Ilyich Savatsky, the Fourth Symphony in 1812 Overture, Marquis Slave, Joseph von Sternberg, also claimed to contribute to a violin piece and to the wedding feast scene. That's a lot of names. The studio
That's a lot of people.
the studio actually had some other damn names for this film, which I actually believe one of them is a lot better than all the others. So of course I already mentioned the Regiment of Lovers, Catherine the Second, and finally Catherine the Great, which I think would have been a much better title.
Yeah.
Although, okay, if Catherine's like her like ascend was like fucking bloody, then yes, but it wasn't. I think her whole takeover was actually pretty chill, to be honest. It contains brief topless nudity and the torture montage scenes.
I remember that. That was very strange.
Torture montage is kind of crazy.
It appears more than I'm comfortable with, but yes, that concept.
Oh yes, in the last scene of Catherine's triumph in 1762, the music in the is the 1812 Overture by Tchaikovsky, which wasn't written until 1880.
Oh shit.
And that is all for this fucking film's trivia.
Oh.
Oh yay! Another film with the word from Scarlet in it.
Yes, the Scarlet Pimpernel. I don't think we're going to spend much time on this film.
It's also remade.
Yeah. There's another film with Leslie Howard. It's about an English aristocrat who is a part of the effort to get the French nobles out of the French Revolution.
Yeah, I'm feeling so sorry. This film has over 7 fucking remakes? I'm sorry, what?
Still not as many as the Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah, but still, why is this one filmed as... And the most recent one was like in 2008? That's recent. What the fuck?
Oh, shit.
It also has a sequel. The Return of the Scarlet Pimpernel.
Oh god, no thank you. That sounds terrible.
It's coming soon, 1937.
I thought you were saying like it was coming, like it's coming up, like it was getting remade now.
Oh, no.
Could you imagine though?
I mean, it already happened 7 of them. Well, why not another one?
Fair. Not a huge fan of this film, as you can tell.
I like it. That's pretty because of based off the fact it features a hero-esque character, which is really fucking cool. It's about a vigilante, BT Dubs.
Fair.
So it's a bit different from the usual hero shtick, where they're trying to help the damn downtrodden, those that are weak. In this case, he's trying to save nobles getting their heads chopped off.
Which makes the film a bit strange in its tone.
At the same time, I like it because it's challenging the group consensus where it's okay to kill nobles. It's something that's so modern in a sense too, where there was plenty of humans who were cheering Queen Elizabeth's fucking death, which I thought was abhorrent. But then you have other people saying, "Well, yeah, no." But this one film, it truly shows that not everyone wants to see them nobles get murked.
I'm just going to pull the Irish heritage card real fast.
No one cares. Irish irrelevant right now.
Specifically in the Queen Elizabeth thing.
Hey, everybody gets tortured one day. It was y'all's turn.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the troubles.
Hey, I don't care what that person did. I truly don't. But ultimately, I don't think anyone deserves to get beheaded because of one dude who basically caused the collapse of your damn fucking economy. I don't care. It's so concerning the idea that all because of damn King Louis, every damn noble's getting their head chopped off. That's fucking asinine. That's fucking insane. That's stupid. That's literally stupid. And this one film tackles that, which I think is great. It's a really good idea. This whole vigilante, and now I'm like really like thinking on it. The film was really good. Let's get through that.
I gave it a 5.
8. Because it also
I
features a hero-esque character.
ah.
I guess this is like a proto-hero, kinda.
Hmm.
The hero genre's not there yet. The superhero genre, at least.
We won't get superhero comics for another couple of years, I think.
Yup.
Hmm.
So, I'll give us some trivia here.
Yes.
So, the motion picture producers and distributors of America admonished there is cleavage in Reel 1, there is cleavage in Reel 4, there is gross cleavage in Reel 8, adding that it was the last film it would pass containing scenes of offensive cleavage.
Yeah. Hays Code. It's rearing its ugly head.
Percy Blinkley refers to one of the boxers as Mendoza, a reference to Daniel Mendoza, the 18th century Jew who revolutionized boxing. Mendoza was a heavyweight champion of England, 1792 to 1795. Despite the fact that he was also at a middleweight.
Oh.
When Sir Percy recites his poem, it contains the word deemed. Or demned, excuse me. Which in the US in 1934 would have been construed as profanity. It would not have been allowed. The film was produced in England, however, where it was.
I see.
Sneaky.
People are really trying to dodge the code.
Yep, the failure of the original copyright holder to renew the film's copyright resulted into it falling into public domain, meaning that virtually anyone could duplicate and sell the VHS, and the DVD copy of the film. Therefore, many of the film's many versions of this film available on the market are either severely and usually badly edited and are extremely poor quality, having been duped from second or third generation or more copies of the film.
That is quite funny.
Oh wait, excuse me. This one's fucking too funny. It had been said that the original director, Rowland Brown, was fired on his first day at work, but that is never confirmed.
Oh.
That is
I wonder if that's true.
I hope it is. That's fucking funny. So, with that there, oh my lord.
I gave it a 5.
8.
Yeah.
Tarzan and his mate.
This film was terrible.
It's literally for gooners, female gooners to be exact.
Or gay.
Yeah, let's be real with him. 904. Sure, there's some gay people, but it's mostly for the ladies.
Yeah, that's who it was made for. But...
And I like, oh my fucking god. So I'll see the damn trailer. I'm like, wow. Okay. Like, oh wow, this is a cool little trailer. So why is the first thing I see a caked up lady? But Oz, it wasn't a lady.
It was John Westmuller, wasn't it?
No, I just typed it out.
Oh gosh. This film has an elephant in it.
Yeah. It has an elephant. It also features a whole other animal, I believe.
There's a lot of animals in this movie. It's very strange.
Yeah. This film has a lot of intriguing things. We'll go with that.
Yeah. It's just a goon movie. There's not much substance here other than getting to see Tarzan be kind of married, except not because he's Tarzan and he has no conception of marriage.
It does feature one really cool black actor, Everett Brown.
Ayo.
Yeah.
Always happy to see more representation in old Hollywood, even though we're not going to get a lot of it until the 50s and 60s.
It's a shame that his last film is also... His last film was called The Witch Doctor. And hold on, let me rephrase that. The White Witch Doctor.
That's worse. That's worse.
Yeah, I'll give you some trivia. The African elephants were actually Indian elephants fitted with prosthetic tusks and ears. As MGM already owned several Indian elephants, considered them easier to handle. Do companies just own elephants?
That must be so strange as a studio to just be like, hey, can you talk to our elephant guy? Yeah, the guy who has all of our elephants.
Fun fact: Tarzan does not appear until until the 23-minute marker in the film.
I thought he was in the intro.
I guess I don't count the intro. Nah, yeah, that doesn't really count technically because you always like for example in SpongeBob you always see all the characters in intro, right?
Ah, that's true.
But like SpongeBob isn't always throughout the actual episodes. It's usually intro. It's a weird little thing, and I kind of like how it's weird.
Fair.
Notable was the fact that Johnny Westmuller did his own stunts, riding a rhino, an elephant, and a hippo.
As you do.
He rode three of the deadliest animals on planet Earth. That's kind of cracked.
That is based, as some might say.
Yup.
This movie wasn't that good, though.
For Gooners, it's literally what it is.
6 because man ass.
4.
And I'm into Johnny Westmuller, even though he's been dead for who knows how long. The Thin Man. I like this film.
This film is one that was in my mind for a while.
Mm-hmm. Same.
I'm very conflicted in this film. Very conflicted indeed.
Oh?
I really want to love it because it's, of course, first and foremost, noir. And I love noir. But the actress, of course, Miss Myrna Loy, she plays her role too good. Too good. Because if you don't know, that the lady, of course, the main woman, she's only in the murder case for the fucking fun of it. And it takes me out of the film.
It's the whole point, it's a comedy.
Yes. But like there's moments where it's actually fucking serious. There's fucking moments where it's serious. And I'm like, pick a lane. Pick a lane. And that's where it really tosses me out of it. Like, man, it could be a really good serious film if they're really going to try it enough.
Fair enough. It's also, you got to remember, it's also the 30s, and a serious tone is not very common in America. Usually there's this theatrical time.
I don't know, man. There's been a few other crime-based films that we've seen thus far that are pretty damn serious, and this is also still a crime film, even though comedy takes the central stage. I don't know about that one.
It seems like a strange complaint to be like, it's a comedy. How dare it?
Well, it can be a comedy, but still reads both of them. So they're trying to go between both avenues, but it's a bit different depending on the fucking film's genres. And with crime, in this particular case, when it's centered around noir, where it has to be serious quite consistently, but then you're throwing a lady who's basically constantly a joke, it really takes me out of it. And that is my opinion, and I'm allowed to have that. It's my hill to die
I'm not saying you're not. I'm not saying you're not. It's all good. Don't crucify me.
But otherwise, the actors were okay. It took me out of it, though. Hey, who's this guy?
William Powell arrives again. He's in a lot of movies this year.
I digged Mr. Nat fucking Pendleton, though. He doesn't appear too much. Sadly. What else did he even appear? Oh, that fucking film. He appears in the Jailhouse fucking Blues. I actually love that fucking film.
Oh.
Ooh, I'm so excited. Ooh. So, outside of that, we have Trivia.
Oh, hell yeah. Trivia.
William Powell spoke of how much he loved working with Myrna Loy because of her naturalness, her professionalism, and her lack of any kind of diva temperament. When we did a scene together, we forgot about techniques and camera angles and microphones. We weren't acting, we were just two people in perfect harmony. He said, Myrna, unlike other actresses who think of only themselves, has the happy fault of being able to listen while other fellows say his lines. She was the give and take of acting and brings out the best. According to Myrna Loy, the actors were not allowed to interact between takes, with a highly trained Skippy, the real name of Asta, who performed his feats on the premise of Squeaky Mouse in a biscuit. Director W.S.
As you do.
Director W.S. Van Dyke, aware of William Powell and Myrna Loy's easy banter between takes and their obvious enjoyment of each other's company, worked both in the movie, but like often encouraged and incorporated information and off the cuff details into his pictures.
Mm.
And that's all for that. A fucking 4.
I give it an 8. I don't know what you're smoking.
I was smoking actual fucking crime. That's what I'm smoking. But the next fucking film is Viva Villa.
This is the last film on our list. Viva Villa. I did not watch it. Did you?
No, I did not.
Okay. So that's kind of a dud for our last film because I think this is a recent addition to the list because when I originally looked at the list, I do not remember this film being on there.
Oh, okay. This is a neat description though, because it tackles directly the opposite. I was basically referring to it with the vigilante fellow. This is another vigilante in a sense. But instead of basically helping out the poor nobles who basically get their heads chopped off, inhumane as fuck, this guy said, "Oh hell no, bro, we're gonna attack the rich and wealthy. All of them get fucked."
Oh.
Yeah, he's basically brutally attacking these people to basically get the respect of the poor. That's his whole damn thing.
Ah, I see.
Yep. So I'll pull out some trivia because why not? On November 19th of 1933, during a film location filming in Mexico, Lee Tracy, originally cast as Johnny Sykes, got drunk and urinated from his hotel balcony onto a passing military parade. He was arrested and fired from the film and replaced by Stuart Irwin. Original director Howard Hanks was also fired for refusing to testify against Tracy, replaced by Jack Conway. However, in his autobiography, Charles G. Clark, cinematographer on the film, said he was standing outside the hotel during the parade, and the incident never happened. Tracy, he said he was standing on the balcony observing the parade when a Mexican in the street below made an obscene gesture at him. Tracy replied in kind, and the next day, a local newspaper printed a story that said, in effect, Tracy had insulted Mexico and Mexicans in general. Mexican flag and parade, blah, blah, blah. So,
fair enough.
Yep. San Marcos, one of the film's primary locations, was virtually a ghost town with the cast and crew having to stay in abandoned buildings and definitely railway carriages without any amenities. Which is weird. I think San Marcos still exists today, and it's very much been populated. Pretty sure.
Weird.
But so that is all of our films. This is as I said before, early on. This is a time for the films are okay. They're good, literally.
Yeah. Here's a better question: does this year even deserve an award ceremony? Because oh my goodness, there was so much nothing.
A lot of it's nothing, and I'm gonna be real. There's two fucking films in here that basically like a sweep every damn thing, literally.
For me, it'd be different films. It'd be The Lost Patrol and what is it called? Probably It Happened One Night, and a couple other films. But there's not much that's really that amazing.
Two films for me would be, of course, looking Cleopatra, and of course, With My Gal, with what's her damn name? Fucking let me poor damn name because I will pronounce the name wrong. I know for sure. Ron Lengu. Because Lord knows that she damn deserves everything. She starred in Damn Goddess, and that's a fun film that I know for a fact. On my list would sweep every damn thing. So good.
Fair. I will have to watch it. So, yeah, what do you think about 1934 in general for film?
It was okay. It was an okay year.
Not great.
Ooh boy, it could be better, but it could be so much fucking worse.
It can always be worse. It could always be 1929 again.
It could be. So,
yes.
Next up is Muzak.
Muzak, my favorite genre of music. I'm checking something. Looks good. So, music is always a different story here because even though it's the Depression, people still be jamming. Hey, look, The Continental, that song that was in that gay divorcee movie.
That is a really good fucking song, though. Really is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Tumbling Tumbleweeds. We got some country in here. We got Smoke Gets in Your Eyes, the original version by Paul Whiteman. Cocktails for Two by Duke Ellington. The Very Thought of You by Ray Noble, not the first version. Love in Bloom by Bing Crosby, he's still around. Guy Lombardo creates Winter Wonderland. June and January by Bing Crosby. Honeysuckle Rose by Fats Waller. Actually, that is the last one. So we listened to a pretty decent selection of 1934 music. Shockingly, there was quite a bit more variety than there was last time. Last time was all jazz.
Yup.
This time there was a little bit more than just jazz. What did you think of the music?
Music in this lovely year was, I liked it. I don't know. I feel like the music it's not for someone like me. Mind you, it's not bad music. It's just not something that I particularly care for. The genre's popping out here and there, but that's okay. It doesn't have to be. It's good nonetheless, though.
Yeah, I feel like you have to be into jazz, which I am, and I know you're not.
Mm-hmm.
Which is fair. Not everyone's into jazz. So, I think it was another good year for music. I think it's just getting better, and I think music is going to continue to get better. I don't think there's any period in which we have to worry about music like getting bad, really, except the 2000s. We can all agree that that was trash. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I think that's everything. Since we're not doing the awards, since it'd be two films for all of us.
Basically, it'd be a clean sweep.
Yeah. Um. So, you know, do you have any closing thoughts on 1934?
It's a year that I really want to see more of the lesser known fucking films because I feel like this year has a lot more fucking potential than the list make it seems.
Yeah, I mean it's just hard because it's hard to get all the especially with preservation being a constant issue with lesser known films. Like we're lucky we even got Metropolis and Citizen Kane.
Yep.
So you know.
Hmm. But yeah, that is the night of the loveliness of 1934. Next time will of course be 1935, and that'll be a whole time.
It's gonna be a jam.
And there's not that many fucking films on the list for that particular year.
Some years just have more films than others. When it comes to stuff that's notable.
There's only damn 9 fucking films, which means we won't be talking about we won't.
Magazine.
Yeah, the fucking films I'm looking at here. Oh, excuse me. Hold on. Now I was looking at music.
Oh.
Say like, feel right here. Play there should be more. Ooh, good fucking film. Top Hat. Love that fucking film.
Yeah, it's a good film. But yeah, 1934 was kind of a trash year, as is most of the 30s. This is a hard era to get through, but if you can get through it, that means you're just a fucking Chad, and we're able to stomach all this.
Yep.
If you made it to the end of this video, we really do appreciate it. If you want to do all the YouTube stuff, as always, that's just a bonus. And we'll see you all next time.
Yep. See ya, peeps.